You work so hard. You show up every day. You do what's expected of you. But deep down, you know the truth. One paycheck shouldn't decide how your life turns out. But what if your evenings meant progress? What if your weekends built freedom? What if your laptop became more than just a screen? This isn't about quitting your job. It's about giving yourself options. While others crawl, you start building. Quietly, consistently, and on your own terms. No pressure, no guessing. Just a clear system you can run after work, before work, or whenever life gives you a turn. That's what Goldmine on hustlesafrica.com is for.
Tuesday.
Haikuzo makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute.
Kweli una maana gani? Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya mavi ya kuku.
Nguruwe kujikanga na mafuta yake na Afrika itakwisha.
We cannot say that as ODM we just want to be there. We want power.
Na mifugo yetu harambe.
Ruto has panicked. One term looks real. And the few people around the president, led by Kipchumba Murkomen, have advised him that use of violence and intimidation could probably slow down the opposition and give him a chance to be re-elected. I want to tell Kipchumba Murkomen and William Ruto that they don't have enough ammunition to kill the people of Kenya.
Goons ni watoto innocent wanatumiwa na wanasiasa bankrupt mwenye hawana akili anaenda anapanga fujo.
We will not tolerate goonism, hooliganism and even violence in our politics.
The Ruto regime has become a criminal enterprise. They are acting illegally, and that's why they are using unmarked vehicles. They are the police officers who are used even mask themselves. We are slowly descending to the state of Haiti. Haiti started like this.
I just want to appeal to my colleague politicians. Please let us stop mobilizing goons to disrupt functions in this country. Let us not use people, let us not use goons to drive this country into a state where we were in 2007. I want to appeal to you that let us not prepare a country for anarchy.
Jana tumeona wahuni na pia juzi wale goons ambao wanatumiwa na wanasiasa. Na ningependa all the security apparatus, you must be vigilant ili mambo ya goons iweze kukoma sana kwa nchi yetu. Sio jambo la busara.
Likelihood of violence next year is terrible news for this country's economy. And leave alone the economy, Kenyan livelihoods. So we must all act together. And this is the moment.
Right. Hello there, people of the internet. My name is Udo Chegero, and this is Political Edit coming to you at 7:30 from the city of glasses, Nairobi.
Even the working report,
Kenya. Okay. What is going on? People of the internet, today we are going to be talking about what is it that Kofi Annan is saying about the 2027 elections. There is a lot of talk that we are going the Haiti way. There's a lot of talk that our social, our politics has broken down into chaos. We have got big election. Alienya is going against Joachim tomorrow at...
Am I in Olkalau?
Alienya is going against Joachim tomorrow in Olkalau. And Alienya is hoping that Mushina may carry the day. I imagine that Mr. Joachim is hoping that DCP will carry the day. But Joachim has been sitting on the fence as far as this election is concerned. Mr. Joachim, welcome to the program. Thank you very much for always being the silent listener to every conversation here at Political Headache. What do you think about tomorrow? Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for Mushina? Are you rooting for
No, it's not
for
my
Kamau?
war. It's not my war. I'm a bystander in a battlefield, so it's not my war.
So you whoever wins, UDA wins, you're okay. DCP wins, you're okay. Is that what you're saying?
I will only be worried by things that will affect the dynamics of 2027. But I do not think this one plays a very big role in changing those dynamics.
Yeah, but
the other thing, all I want I just want to point out the spiritual aspect of it.
Of Ol Kalou election.
Yes.
Interesting. Go ahead.
You remember the Kiambaa by-election?
Yes.
On 15th July 2021.
Okay. I don't remember it at all.
It cemented the perception that William Ruto could win.
Okay.
Now this by-election is coming on 16th of July.
That one was when?
15th of July 2021.
All right.
The election was to happen on 9th of August the next year, 2022.
Okay.
So that was exactly 1 year.
Exactly 1 year to the dot.
Yes. And this one is happening on 16th of July.
Yeah.
2026.
Okay.
The election will be happening on the 10th of August.
All right.
Next year. 1 year to election.
Exactly 1 year.
Yes.
So then the stars of Ruto are aligning.
So I am not looking at the stars.
Okay.
I am looking at the clouds.
At the okay. How does that make you feel? Afraid?
No.
You know Ruto is a man of God. He's always cried. He's always been on his knees. He's always by the cross.
Men who cry are men of God.
But the Bible says we are all sinners.
Yes.
So only sinners can be men of God.
But we have patron saints, even if we are all sinners.
Patron saints?
Yes.
Who are those?
We have people who are better than we are.
Okay.
That's why when the Israelites asked for a king, God gave them Saul. So there are those who are equal than others in the animal farm. I know you've read that book.
Yeah.
That some animals are more equal than others. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the dynamics of 2022 and these ones. And the region where the by-elections are happening.
Yeah.
There is a big disparity. This election, if I am to be honest, as a bystander, is complete half probability.
Half probability, 50-50?
Yes.
Goes either way?
Yes. So there is nobody who can authoritatively say
that I'm going to win.
Yes. Because the battle is largely it has more national how do we call it?
Appeal.
More national perception than really the constituency.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you look at the campaign, the narratives on the ground.
All right.
The people of Mount Kenya have a problem with one individual. And that when that one individual appears on the ballot, things will be a lot more different than they are. But this is a sibling rivalry, where one brother wants a bigger plate than the other. So that's why I told you it's not my war.
It is not your war. But then you were talking about the spiritual angle, the Kiambaa by-election and the Ol Kalou by-election. Yes. And then you go further than that to say that it is also a 50-50. So if we combine the spirituality around it and the 50-50, where does it tilt?
No, now, I just opened a book so that Kenyans can read it for themselves.
Okay.
I am not making any conclusions. So everyone will pull their rope to their direction.
I see the fear in your eyes.
Fear.
I want to welcome the lady in the house, the mighty Roslyn Alionya. Roslyn, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure being here once again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to start on by accusing you about a few things. Number one is that the government has unleashed goons in Ol Kalou, and they are terrorizing the people. They have unleashed gas. They have unleashed, GOK mattresses. They have unleashed 600 million. Did Gachagua say 600 million? I mean, Alionya, you cannot win you don't want to win an election like that by that kind of voter coercion. What is going on? Tell me, what is going on?
I mean, if I heard those government officials properly, they said it's just that the election coincidentally happened when they were now taking the development projects for Olkalau.
So,
but equally,
just a minute.
I have not seen any voter in Olkalau saying no to the mattress. I have not seen any resident of Olkalau saying no to the gas. So clearly, it does not mean that the government has used it to coerce them. I mean, the government might just have found an opportunity to reward them for what they did to William Samoei Ruto in 2022, because I believe Ruto got around, Olkalau has a registered voter of around 72,000.
72,000.
William Ruto got a half of it, 35,000. The person who won that election on Jubilee ticket also got almost 33,000 of votes.
Okay.
So probably the government was just trying to say thank you. Nonetheless, there's something that, Joachim here is trying to run away. I can tell you for a fact, the amount of people who want the DCP candidate to fail are more in the united opposition than even in the side of government.
In the united opposition?
Yes. They are genuinely going onto their knees, crying, and you can even see through the eyes of...
Yeah, I have seen that.
Like, he really wishes that Rigathi Gachagua loses that election so that it becomes easier for them in opposition. Because if he wins that election, that means visiting Wamunyoro residents, if you are carrying 1 million now, you'll have to top up to around 3 million. He will become more expensive than he is right now. His demands will become more than they are at the moment. So if anything, even as in government, ile maombi ambayo tunapata from the people in the united opposition is overwhelming. We can see the hidden support they're giving to the UDA candidate Mushina in terms of prayers, goodwill, and even silent campaigns. We can just see it. Nonetheless, there's the aspect of goons. This issue of goons, we can't only blame it on government. This is a societal problem, this is a political problem, and this is a youth problem. Because if politicians stop fighting one another, kupimana nguvu, then there is no goonism. Equally, if the young people said no to the 300 you are being given, to the 1,000 bob you are being given, then there is no goonism. So until we look ourselves into the face and tell ourselves that we need to talk to the young people. We need to talk to the political class, regardless of which side you come from. Because we have seen even the politicians themselves admitting that both politicians in government and in opposition have goons. Na ni ukweli, unajua ni venye tu Joachim hajaanza kucampaign. Hii Nairobi si ana campaign kukuwa senator. Haezi tembea bila goons. It is just it is an underlined rule. There's no way you are campaigning without goon as a politician from either side. So until we have a honest conversation with ourselves, ile tujiambie, how can we really deal with this aspect of goon? Because I saw she's called the former LSK president on a national TV saying that the DCI has arrested our people who are protecting us from the goon. And then you ask yourself, what is the difference between your people, whom you are saying they're protecting you from the goons, and the goons that we are actually fighting? So we must agree that this is a wholesome issue that we need to look at it objectively. So you can't say that...
Do you think that the opposition are not being honest about the issue of goons?
They are not being honest. Let me tell you, look at Rigathi Gachagua, the owner of goons, since the time he was a DC. You look at Bobo Wino, the owner, yani hakuna goon mwenye Bobo Wino ajui. Like you put goons here, he will be able to tell you he's called so and so, he was born in this year. You look at
Babu knows them by name and date of birth.
And you will always see how he updates on his social media that this one comes from Nyalenda, this one comes from this side. So if he
Alionya, be careful.
No, the truth of the matter, like me personally, I will not even defend anyone from government side who has goons. Even there's a time Tom Ojenda was being accused of having very many goons, and I know people have talked to him because kuna time inafika, even people fear you because you are always accompanied by goons. So hii ni kitu ambayo hatuwezi blame government peke yake, and then we single out the opposition. In fact, opposition is leading in the number of goons.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Mr. Kachola, you're a diplomat. I mean, what is going on in this country? Let's talk about let's talk about Olkalau. The same issue of goons, the same issue of. Do you think that your government is taking it early in the morning?
Our government, Jagero, I told you to stop pointing fingers. You are say our.
Yeah, but if I tell you that it is your government, what is the problem? That is a fact.
It is our, yes. So
yeah, but why do you insist that it has to be our? It can be your government.
For me, I can say it's their government.
So I don't understand why. If it is our government, then it is your government. So
exactly.
There should be no problem.
So don't just say you are. Just say our government.
Okay.
It is all of us.
Okay.
Jagero, it's interesting what is happening in Olkalau, but it has elicited some of the things that I want to point out. One of them, it has given Kenyans opportunity to see the disunity within the opposition. We all expected that opposition, as it is, as they call themselves, the United Opposition, would be rallying behind that one sole candidate they have. But that is not the case. As Alionya has mentioned, you can see it even in
Joachim's eyes.
Joachim's eyes.
Yeah.
He's really wishing for the fall of the DCP candidate.
Yeah.
So it has clearly shown us the disunity within opposition. I put it on this side? Okay. Well, thank you. Another thing is, it has also depicted not just the disunity within the opposition, but it has also shown how inconsistent some of our politicians are and how dishonest our politicians can be. Because when you say this is our candidate for the opposition, and then you end up blocking others from campaigning for the same candidate, and they say they are going to campaign for the opposition candidate, but you are telling them, stop, don't even go there. What are you trying to show the entire group that is behind you? And I can't agree any further that the true opposition we ever had in this country is that of Raila Odinga. It is Raila Odinga who could win a by-election as an opposition leader. We saw it in Kajiado when the late Kaiseri was nominated into cabinet, was appointed into cabinet. We saw it in the coast region. We saw it in Ndewa when Ojode died. We've seen it all over. You've mentioned largely about whatever the government is doing there. By the way, this is not the first time the government is giving goodies or campaigning with its might, because it is politics again. They want to win. The government has to win this. It is in their plate. You remember when Ojode died and we had a by-election there. Do you know KANU was going to win that election? And by then, KANU was not even, KANU had no president. But KANU being part of the system then, KANU was supposed to win that thing. It forced Raila Odinga. For the first time I saw Raila in a truck in Ndewa, from station to station, pleading with the people of Ndewa. And then the people said, no, we have eaten enough from the government. Now let us vote. Let us not shame Baba. That is how actually KANU did not win that election. But it is in the government's interest, it is in the ruling party's interest to win that thing. And that victory determines a lot moving forward. You know, politics is perception. If you lose that seat as a sitting government, as the ruling party, what does it depict of you? You will be reduced to ridicule and mockery, so you will have no voice. But if you win, then it shows you still have the power, you still have the guts. And by winning it, you will win even those who voted for the other side. Some of them will come to you and say, by the way, kama serikali inaweza win hii, and it is in the opposition stronghold, what does it say of the opposition? So it is despicable that the opposition is crying for, instead of focusing. I wish they borrowed a script from the Raila Odinga's by-election campaigns. They would have won this fair and square. But as it is, no.
You expected Wamunyoro to be camping in Olkalau instead of having a Mecca in Wamunyoro.
He's the party leader. How then do you send your troops and then you don't go to the battlefront? What kind of a leader are you? Jagero, you can't send your troops to the battlefield and then you sit back and let young boys fight it out. Who are they fighting it out? With the most powerful in the government, because the government knows winning that seat speaks a lot. So it is no offense in government going full throttle to win that seat. Yes, and they shall. And the goons?
So the government can give gas cylinders, that's okay. Give gas cylinders, give, plaque.
If it is wrong, then the people would have rejected them. Correct.
But who's the adult in the room, Mr. Kachola? I think there is an adult in the room, and the adult in the room is the government. Don't give gas. Don't give one-time gas cylinders.
Jagero, we all know that in the mitigation of the climate crisis we have today, we all want to go green. Any opportunity to go green, any opportunity to eliminate smoke in our environment, I think must be appreciated. And that is a good thing. And we've seen this going on. If you go to Kisumu, before last general elections, the woman rep then, was it the woman rep or one of the MPs then, used to do gases in thousands. Those gas cylinders of 6 kg, they used to give them out. It is not happening. It's just that as Kenyans, we have very short memory. We forget very fast. Even what happened yesterday, seemingly, we might forget it today. But this is not something new. And I think, as Millie Odhiambo said, some constituents are praying that we die as MPs so that they get goodies, meaning they are not getting these goodies within these people. So if they can get it some other time, there is no specific time for getting what is right for you. You can get it today or tomorrow, irrespective of the circumstance and the situations. Yes.
Joachim, what do you think about the giving of gases and mattresses? It reminds me of Kalumbi. You remember that place in Ukambani? Kalumbi or Kilumbi? The place there where you went and the guy had no door. Kavisuni. Yeah. So if somebody had died in a by-election is in Kavisuni, would you be against those people getting doors and getting mattresses? What would you'll struggle with your conscience? What will happen? What do you think should happen?
You see, I look at things from points of view that is not so common.
Yeah.
So I want to take it from where my sister spoke and said it. The by-election coincidentally came at the same time where the government had planned
to give gases,
to gas to uproot transformers from Bere North and take them to Olkalau.
You have to put him to substantiate that.
Yeah, and I will.
That's
I don't hijack points from the air.
Yeah.
So I will substantiate that right here.
Okay.
It coincided with the Kenya Power's plan to take transformers from Bere North to Olkalau. It coincided with the climate change affirmative action to take gas so that they go green in Olkalau. It coincided with the other government hospitals donating mattresses written GOK. So it's okay that mothers that have given birth at Mbagathi can share a bed, because the voters in Olkalau need one more mattress that is 2 inches. Is it 3? Yes, the students' mattresses. So I wonder what we really are doing. I say they uprooted a transformer, the one they had taken to Bere North during the by-election, just like this one. And Kenya Power, to prove that they had actually uprooted a transformer, came out and said it was a routine maintenance action. This transformer was taken to Olkalau less than a year ago. A new transformer. I wonder how often do you see transformers uprooted from Dewa and Mfangano Island to go and undergo routine maintenance?
I think just to correct what he's saying, the transformer he's speaking about actually is back there. I remember this thing was reported. There is a caller on one of the radio stations, to be specific, Kameme, who called and made that allegation of the transformer being uprooted there and taken to Olkalau. And when that went on air, one of the presenters actually contacted Kenya Power to confirm this. And the following day, Kenya Power said it was just a maintenance. The transformer had become faulty. It was a danger now to the residents.
Okay.
And in two or 3 days, the transformer was back. And they told Kameme that transformer is back. Please call back to the residents and confirm with them.
I know why it happened.
So they took it back after 24 hours?
Yeah. No, not after 24 hours. It was around 2 or 3 days. It was taken back and the transformer is there.
Okay.
So I think the issue of transformer we can now put aside and deal with other issues.
Okay.
Thank you. Proceed.
It's because of the pressure.
Yeah.
Pictures were circulating online.
I think there was also a picture on Nation.
Yes.
There was a picture on Nation of wires hanging.
Yeah, the pressure. What I know and how Kenya Power does things is they don't carry
the transformer. They
away.
fix it on site.
On site. If it is so damaged, they come with another one as they carry the other one.
Yeah.
But because it's showbiz, the bottom-up showbiz, that's what they did. And I tell you, the reason why they are doing all this, you look at the desperation in government in winning this seat. They are desperately looking at a place where they will cement the perception that they are poised to win. I told you here last was it the day before yesterday, that between DCP and UDA, who needs Ol-Kalou seat most? UDA needs it a lot more than DCP. Because they want to paint that picture that, look, even if Mount Kenya says they don't want us, they have voted for our guy. That is
the government.
Yes, that's the government.
Yeah. And so, you're saying that DCP does not need to show, because Gachagua has been going all over the place saying that these people are very interesting people. These people of the mountain. Once you anger them, once you betray them, that is it. They will turn their back. So you want to tell me that Gachagua does not want to show that might in Ol-Kalou and say that,
I'm not saying there is no need in DCP winning this seat.
Okay.
I'm just weighing the heavier need. The heavier need is on government.
Okay.
So when we discuss about development, what are we really discussing? Because how are we sure that the things we have seen happen in Ol-Kalou will still work in the absence of a by-election? Because this is not the first time for us to see such things. We saw lorries carrying electric poles in Mbeere North. I had a candidate in Mbeere North, so I was on site. After election.
As your party, Safina?
Yes, yes.
How did you do?
We did very well.
You took an early lead.
Yes, we took an early lead. We did very well.
I think we have normalized the idea of Kenyans, or rather voters, receiving tokens before an election because of the behavior of politicians.
Okay.
Voters always know that once I give you my vote, I'm never going to see you again for the next 5 years. For this case, it is now 1 year. So I wouldn't mind if the voters of Ol-Kalou are wise enough to say, I don't have electricity, I need electricity now. And don't tell me you'll bring it after I voted for you. I don't have gas. I don't have money to do this and this. If you have the money, please
let me
give
ask.
Let me just land my
No,
point.
I don't want you to land before I ask.
I didn't cut you, so allow me to just...
No, you've cut me.
So I am saying, like,
we have got a lot of minutes, Joachim.
There's an anomaly that Kenyans have painted politicians as liars.
Okay.
Even Joachim today, he should be asking me for a vote as a voter here in Nairobi. So lazima nitamuuliza umekuja na nini. That is the behavior, that is the reality. But can we change it? Yes, we can change it. Through one or two things, by Kenyans realizing that what is the role of a member of parliament? A member of parliament is not their role to construct for you, to bring that poll that you're talking about. It is not the role of a member of parliament to do this and the things you have seen in Ol-Kalou. But because of the precedents that other politicians have set. Now, Kenyan voters have always thought, before I vote for you, what are you giving me? And therefore, I'm not going to fault the voters of Olkalau. In fact, I call them sharp guys and sharp men. Because whether Mushina wins or loses, they have electricity. Whether Mushina wins or loses, they have gas. Whether Mushina wins or loses, kuna pesa nimesikia huko chai kikombe ni 1,000. I mean, at the end of the day, at least for them, they have benefited before an election. But that is something we need to do away with, because if not, that means the election of 2027 is going to be the most expensive election in Kenya.
The expansion of 2027 is going to almost 300 billion as research by Polycodec. But anyway, what do you think about that?
So if that is the way we are going to develop our country, then we are going to need 290 by-elections to develop the whole country. We are going to wish that between elections, we get opportunities of a by-election, so that the people of Kandui can now be given view one's gas. The people of Kandui can be given roads.
What does he mean by view?
View one's gas. Ikiisha, you can't exchange it for anything, because they don't have blue stations. But Starbucks is blue. I don't know.
maybe Starbucks. Maybe someone has gotten a place to eat. So the problem I have with all these things is, how do we now say that we are sustainably developing the country? How do you say that some things can only happen under particular circumstances, where the government can send half their PSS, the government can send nearly everyone, even the how do we call them, state parastatals, heads of state parastatals are now in Olkalau, showing those people that we can now work for you. I have no problem when people get things, but the how matters a lot, because at the end of the day, if we do not take care of the how is what brings the problems. That's why someone can win election. But how did you win becomes the biggest question, and that's what led to 2007 violence. Is that you have this result, but we do not know how you got it. That's the question. So when we see these things, and the precedents of guns, which my brother and sister are downplaying, that, oh, you need guns.
How are they downplaying it?
They are saying that it's a normal behavior.
I've said we need to call out all factions.
No.
We will never get a solution if we only accuse the government.
How do you say you call out all factions? No, let me ask. How do you call out Wamunyoro for guns? When we say that we have guns, and Murkomen tells us Gachagua has guns, so what? So that we do what? Murkomen is a minister for interior. If Gachagua has guns, Murkomen is not an activist to come and complain about it. You have to flash out those goons and prove to us that actually Wamunyoro has goons. We did not elect activists. Sometimes you see the president saying that we are Mutu. You imagine a president speaking as if he's the head of a civil society group, when he's the head of all armed forces. When we say that Jagero is stealing, and the government says, we say that the government is stealing, then they come and say, no, even Jagero steals. Then why do you exist as a government? When we complain against the goons, we are saying we are not safe as the people, and our property is at risk. The primary reason for existence of any government is to protect its people and their property. If you fail on that premise alone, you have no reason calling yourself a government. And that's why some of the people have said that if the government has failed to protect us, we will have no otherwise but to protect ourselves. There is two types of violence. Offensive violence and defensive violence. You are not violent today because you've not been attacked. But if people attack you and in your defense you harm them, you have not committed any crime.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you believe that the opposition has got goons?
And that's the question I'm raising.
Please press her.
And that's why I'm asking. If the opposition has goons, then whose failure is that? If Joachim, I can manage
but that does not answer my question.
No.
That does not answer my question. The question is very clear and pointed. Do you think opposition in Kenya has goons?
When we talk about goons, it means, and I have spoken about this time without number, that goons are a danger to everybody.
Okay, that does not answer my question, though.
And I'm answering your question.
Do you have to go around bushes to answer it?
No, I'm responding to the intention of the question.
No.
Before I answer the question,
you cannot know the intention of the question.
No. Sometimes.
I mean, you're not God. I mean, I'm just asking you. Do you think? Do you believe Babu Owino has goons, for example? That's another pointed question. Do you believe so?
Yeah, he might have them. And that gives me a chance to elaborate further.
Exactly. Go ahead now.
That I am going to a rally in Mathare.
Okay.
And I have a feeling the government has no capability to ensure my safety as I campaign. Actually, it can come up with ways of interfering with my safety. If the people we are paying to bring about safety have failed, what do you do? That's why people hire watchmen, even if we have police. They hire their own private security because they have no trust that the police will do a good job. That by the time the police comes, at least this private security guard has taken care of me. When you become a minister, the government can give you a driver. But because you don't trust the government provided driver, you still come with yours.
You come with your cousin.
The people that are being used as goons by the opposition, it is by the failure of government to ensure security. So when Babu Owino says that we are going to defend ourselves, where does that come from? It's because we have seen instances where people have been captured on camera, they have assaulted a senator, they have invaded a church, but they have not been arrested anywhere. You saw in Keumbo, young people pelting stones at passing vehicles. And they were being supervised by a man in uniform. You look at what happened in Kisumu the other day. Young people coming with all crude weapons, but in their midst there is a uniformed officer. So when you see things like that, what
there was a uniformed officer in their midst?
Yes, I can tell you. There was a uniformed officer.
We played the video several times. We didn't see an armed officer in.
Which video did you play? Which video did you play? So we are saying
you are coming right now.
Yes. So these things about goons, it's not once. Even in this church, the police were here. Even goons, when arrested by people of goodwill, and they are pressed to say the truth, they say we were being protected by the police. And when you look at the confidence exhibited by the goons, they know you can't take them anywhere.
Can I ask you one more question before I go in? So, do you believe that the opposition sent goons to disrupt other people?
The opposition sends goons to disrupt other people?
Yes.
If that happens...
No. Question.
No, I'm saying if that happens, they will be arrested before they even go there.
No, but do you believe that they do?
No.
Opposition does not?
Well, it does not.
Okay. I want to go to this gentleman who wanted to say something.
Jagero, if we all remember well, during the inauguration ceremony of President William Ruto, that is somewhere in September 2020.
It was 13th September.
Yes, 2022. He made a directive that the police, the IG, the Inspector General of Police,
is independent,
would have direct accountancy of police. Why? He was taking away the police from the president and making them accountable. And by so doing, I think somewhere within 2022, when Ukur Yatani was still the minister in Treasury, under the PFM Act 2012, Ukur Yatani ensured that the IG of police could now manage the police issues directly. It is no longer under the president authority. Even when Murkomen has to give directives, and is his policy, he will have to still go through the IG. He cannot order the police. That's one thing people must know. Murkomen cannot order the police, and that is the law. So when we talk about who is supposed to take first responsibility when we have police misconduct, it is the IG of police. And I don't know why people always want to evade this fact and always want to pull in the CS, the PS, and pull in the president. But the law distinctively gives those roles and powers to who? To the Inspector General of Police. He should be answerable, because even their money that they use in any operation is no longer under the control of the permanent secretary.
You are saying that Murkomen has no influence over the Kenyan police?
He can only give a policy directive, but he cannot command the police, because the law does not. If he does, tomorrow he will be in court. And it is the very, very...
Who will take him to court? Who will take him to court?
Anybody. Even you can take him
to court. But how will I know that he has made the directive?
Because
so in this
the law does not allow him to do so.
Which law?
Let me tell you now.
Yes.
Under the PFM Act 2012.
Yes.
Section, I think, 60 or 62 thereabouts.
Public finance management.
Yes. Of 2012. Check around either 60 or 62. Section 60 or 62, under that particular section, Ukur Yatani gave directives after the president's proclamation that the IG of police would be direct accountant of the finances of the police, would be directly responsible for the police actions. So it is not the CS who is directly giving orders to the police.
So let me ask.
Therefore,
Let me just land. Therefore,
whenever there is a challenge with the police, the first person we as Kenyans must call out, if there is laxity, if there is excesses on the police side, the first person we must call out is the IG of police.
Do you believe that the police in Kenya are sleeping on the job based on the kind of hooliganism and goonism that we are having in the country?
I don't think the police is sleeping on the job. I want to expressly say that the police is overwhelmed because of the numbers.
The numbers.
If you look at the internationally acceptable figures of the police to citizenry ratio, it is extremely low. And by recognizing that fact, what has the government done? They ensured that in the last 1 year or so, the recruitment of police was enhanced, was doubled, nearly tripled. So that, and I think towards the end of this year also, they will do recruitment. Just to try, they cannot reach the internationally required ratio. However, they are trying to break the gap.
Can I ask you a question?
Before you even ask. He's raising very worrying statements.
I know, but let me ask him let me ask him a question, because I want to go to Alionya before I come to you. So if you look at what happened in Kisumu, and I believe that you come from Nyanza, you know what was going on.
Yes.
The Anglican church that was attacked by goons is basically behind Central Bank. Down the road, there is the police station. All right? Up the road, you find Mugoya, the former Mugoya building, which is basically the county offices. On the opposite side of the county offices, there is the presidential palace. What is it called? State House. Okay? So, and then when you move to the other side, there is KBC, which is a government parastatal heavily fortified. Okay? So you find all these places, and then when you look at these goons coming from the other side, all right, in broad day, and you're telling me that they can just walk like that without the police having prior knowledge that they were going to walk that street. Again, look at Kisumu. It's a small place. I imagine that there is NIS in Kisumu, right? And so they didn't know. that this was going on?
Thank you, Jagger.
And the police did not know.
And you've raised a very important question.
Yeah.
And it needs a very sober response, so that we are not just here for the sake of having a conversation, but also informing and learning from Kenyans, and Kenyans equally learning from us. If you look at that picture, those guys walking that street, some of them with bows and arrows, it's a worrying trend. It's something very worrying that anybody who is in their right senses must get worried of. But at that particular juncture, what did you expect the police to do? To combat? How did they combat? If the police had to combat them, had to use force to combat them, and they retaliated, what would have been the next thing? We would have had a bloodbath.
What happened to tear gas?
Wait. These
so
are
they
guys,
couldn't be tear gas?
Just wait.
Ama they are immune because it's in Kisumu.
These are guys with bows and arrows.
Those were just a show. There are no bows in Kisumu, bro.
But
he doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, there are no bows in Kisumu.
And
just from the intelligence part of it.
Just allow me land. Kindly.
No, such a huge crowd.
Yeah.
The police didn't know.
That's the problem. That's what I'm asking,
The police, if the police knew, and they did not take action to prevent it, it's.
But that is what I'm asking you.
Exactly.
That is what I'm asking, Ambassador Gordon. That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you a question. Do you think that the police is prepared in Kisumu to start with? Do you think there is intelligence in Kisumu?
The police is prepared.
The intelligence is being misused.
Are you Kachola?
No, Kachola is.
Yeah, so you're not Kachola. So let Kachola respond.
But you know I'm going to Alionya anyway. So because
I know, but sasa hii ni mambo ya ajabu.
He's very hell-bent in ensuring that I don't pass this information because he knows the weight and the magnitude of this problem.
Okay.
I know the weight because the weight is not heavy enough.
Go ahead, Kachola.
The police is prepared everywhere.
Okay.
And as we've always said, and I've maintained that, the police we do not have enough police officers countrywide. And you know, when a leader is going for a church service, does it raise any alarm, for example? Should it, in the first place, should it raise any alarm? It shouldn't. And there's a picture that is now trending.
Yes.
One of the guys with the bows and arrow there, is a guy who has been seen next to one of the opposition leaders.
Okay.
Why is he not arrested? Why?
And that is the question now.
No.
Which opposition leader?
Whose responsibility is it to arrest a goon?
Orengo.
Yes, and why is he not being arrested if he's Orengo's guy?
That question should now be directed exactly to IG of police.
So who is the head of IG? Who is the appointing authority to the IG?
No, before you go to the appointing authority,
who should the IG questions?
The IG, that is
no. Tell me who is taking a political beating for these actions? Who is it? If not President Ruto.
So let me ask you. Should we accept that a president or appointing authority writes over your job as a public servant just because he's going to take
when you are not doing a good job, and I am seeing everywhere because two young people died.
Should the president always load his powers and
he's always loading
on someone because
but
they're not
he's always loading.
No,
Alionya, these people are going to kill themselves. Alionya, can I ask you a question? So the Ministry of Defense in the 2026-2027 allocation was given a total of 252 billion.
Yeah.
The National Police Service was given a total of 144.7 billion. National Intelligence Service, NIS, was given 64 billion. Internal Security and National Administration was given 64 billion. Kenya Prison Service was given 42 billion. How can we not have enough police with all this budget?
We don't have enough police because we have not yet recruited. And if you look at that budget, the increase has also been due to the increment in the salaries of, I think, some of the police officers. if anything, if we want more police officers, that means we need more allocation of that money. But Jagero, Ebu, put yourself in the shoes of a policeman. You are alone.
Okay.
You are in the midst of around 50 or 100 goons. In fact, they were 50 from this side.
Alionya, this is...
we are putting ourselves in the...
Alionya, my problem...
Let me land. Let me land first.
You're not flying anything.
I just want you to answer.
Okay.
You are a police officer.
All right.
You have found... You have your instruments of authority. You are in the midst of 50 goons and another 50 goons who are clashing.
Okay.
What would you do as a police person?
I think I take off. I think, but what I'm asking you is, what I'm asking Alionya is, why are we as a nation reacting to goons already on the streets? While we have national intelligence who been given 64 billion, who can actually monitor.
Yes.
But we can see the conversation between Alionya and Joachim, and they are planning to be on the streets tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay? What are we doing about it?
There is what we call
the police say they
yes,
have
but why is it that as Kenyans we want to deal with the people who are already in the streets? While when they're organizing for the last 3 days, we are just sipping coffee.
Are you saying that you know every action by the NIS?
They should know.
Jagero,
why should they know?
Why do we play
let me inform you a bit.
Okay, go on, inform me.
There are many issues that the NIS is dealing with, the National Intelligence Service.
Okay.
And there are many...
Just a minute, Joachim. You can't shut up.
So, more important than goons.
Oh my goodness.
So there are more important issues.
Have decorum, Joachim.
Yes, there are more important, other important things, just as this, that the national intelligence is dealing with.
Okay.
There are so many things that are thwarted. Whenever they thwart any attempt towards maybe mobilized goons, crime activities, whenever they thwart those attempts, they are never in the media. You will never know them.
Okay.
So, and let me tell you, even in the most sophisticated democracies and security arrangements, like in the US, in the UK, or Russia, or China, you will never 100% cut on some of these criminal activities, like those. And I told you, I don't like calling those people goons. They are criminals. You would not cut down on some of these things. Some will automatically happen without you knowing, or you will know, but maybe by the time you are knowing, it is too late.
Do you think they are doing a good job while at it?
Or maybe when...
Do you think they are doing a good job, Kachola? I mean, 252 billion for Minister of Defense.
Those guys are doing
National Police Service, 144 billion.
Job.
Fantastic job.
I don't want to...
Okay, can we give...
I didn't give my point. I spoke for just 30 seconds.
Okay, you go ahead and finish. You go and finish. You finish. Leave alone.
Okay, there are allegations that the first troop of goons was actually goons planted there by the opposition itself.
In Kisumu.
And that's why,
in Kisumu.
And that's why they had those people who were attending the church had a reactionary group of young men who are to react to the goons who had been. Those are allegations.
Okay.
But I know with the time, na mimi nikijua ukweli, I will not keep quiet. Msiogope kuniambia watu wa Kisumu. Don't fear to tell me. I'll just blast these politicians. Because I can tell you for a fact, and I have observed, the United, or rather the Linda Mwananchi, they cannot go anywhere without violence. Because without violence, there is no story. Linda Mwananchi went to Machakos. There is nothing we heard about what they said in Machakos because there was no confrontation between them and goons. So they will always want to plant something so that either there is tear gas, either there is someone being shot at. And I want to call out the young people in Linda Mwananchi. Msipokaa vizuri, you will be a casualty because these are goons allegedly that were planted by the same opposition to appear as though they are being attacked, and they also grouped other young men to also safeguard them.
You can imagine this.
Now, out of that, two people have died.
As a rational man, just listening to this.
Quiet? You know, there's one.
If this is not crap, then what is it?
There's no way we will be talking about things diplomatically, and I don't want to deal with the real issue. Out of that scenario, can you keep quiet? Joachim, can you just keep quiet, Thailand? Out of that, two people have died.
Yeah.
2 people have died, Joachim, and you are laughing.
Yeah.
2 people have died, and probably they might not even know they were set up against one another.
Joachim is telling you that the people in opposition have no capability whatsoever
that's not
of
what
playing
I'm
the
saying.
goon tactic.
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
So you are telling me
that
the opposition is so powerful.
Yeah.
They plan some goons to stay at the venue where they are. Then they plan others.
But even the LSK president was on TV saying how walikuwa vijana wetu wamekuja kutulinda.
Can I speak? Just as you wanted me silent. That they planned some, then they planned others.
Yeah.
To come do a mock attack.
Yes.
But out of that melee, 2 young people die. So these 2 young people died playing the role. But somehow the government is still doing its investigations because according to her, it's an allegation.
Okay.
So the government is still finding out who might have done
What is
this.
the problem that you're having with that politician cannot create a mock operation?
They can. They have.
That is what you're saying.
That's the most tired way of looking at it.
Okay.
Because
but these things are happening, Joachim. Aki, with all honesty, do you believe the opposition has never said their own attack?
If such things can happen, and a week later, we still do not know how they happened, who should we ask the questions?
Police. Mr. Kachola's police.
I am not holding a cloth for anyone. Jagero.
Yes.
I am not defending either opposition or government. I am just seated here wondering how can it play out like that, and somehow we do not know.
I thought you had a solution. You had
No, Ngoja, I am not paid to give solutions to such things.
Okay.
There
Then
are
you should
people.
not be elected. But when Nairobi, if you can't offer solutions, you should not be
We are talking about 250 billion.
Yes.
The essence of that money is to protect the taxpayer, regardless of their affiliation.
Yes.
So if the police cannot use what they have and say, out of what happened, these are the suspects, whether a goon or a funder of that goon, whether opposition or government.
Even as I agree with Joachim, there was an incident at a church where His Excellency the former Vice President, Deputy President, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, was apparently marooned in the church, but was writing a very long post on Facebook about the attack as it goes on live. And the government actually said that it was him who organized those goons, correct? It is also interesting that Gachagua was marooned in a basement in a church, but writing a long text and saying how much, and there were pictures, very HD photos being taken in the compound that he was also embedding on the same post, but also saying that it was the government that was attacking him.
So if
very, very, very interesting.
That happens,
and that's
not enough for government to just say.
And that is why I'm agreeing with you that up to then we have not known what exactly happened in that church.
The problem why we have not known.
Okay.
If today Kenyans are told Alionya did this,
okay,
Kenyans will start saying the government is targeting Alionya because Alionya ni mtu wetu, Alionya is doing this.
Okay.
That is also a syndrome that Kenyans need to stop, because Murkomen has come a number of times telling us that these and these kind of leaders have goons.
No,
what does the
is that what Murkomen should be doing?
Can you just keep quiet? I land my point.
No, is Murkomen's job to come and tell us?
What do citizens do thereafter? They are targeting our person because of political reasons. They are targeting our person
Murkomen
because
should
of
say,
political
we have
punishment.
arrested so and so with evidence.
If today we arrest Rigathi Gachagua,
yes,
unadhani hakutakuwa na maandamano?
Kutakuwa nayo.
No. Arresting him, then we see what happens.
In fact, he'll be leading those protests.
So is he the only leader? You have said Babu Owino has goons.
Why was Raila never arrested?
Yeah?
Why was Raila never? Why was Raila never arrested? Why was Raila never arrested? Why do you think Raila was never arrested?
But Raila never stepped on red lines.
No.
I can tell you 100%.
Raila
never stepped on red lines. These ones that we are saying. Tell me one instance.
And I'm not accusing Raila, but because you are talking, because then if you're talking about, you cannot compare Rigathi Gachagua with Raila Odinga, but right now they occupy almost the same position in terms of the influence that they are having. So I don't think that it is in the interest of the government right now to actually. Where are you going to put Rigathi Gachagua once you've arrested him?
Jagero.
A cell.
Yeah?
A cell.
No, you don't put Rigathi Gachagua, and this is what she's saying.
But it's a reality.
Yes, it is a reality that you cannot arrest. But I also agree.
That the police needs to do.
I agree with this gentleman, with Joachim, that we do not expect a press conference telling us that Rigathi has got goons.
Yes.
That's not what we want to hear, Mr. Gordon Kachola. We want to say that the police has arrested so and so, and this was the story, and it is being prosecuted and investigated in court.
Let me remind you the presser that Murkomen made the other day during, I think, a certain maandamano. After telling us that so-and-so had planned goons, he went ahead and told us that is why some of these roads were barricaded, to ensure that people are not moved from this region to these regions because they had intel. I mean, probably he's pointing out that this was planned, but this is what you have done to ensure we have damage controlled. Kijana anajaribu.
Hakuna kujaribu.
Akiwa na PS Raymond Omolo.
Hakuna kujaribu.
Mekanyaga goons.
Yes. Kachola wants to learn.
Goons amekanyaga. They are the ones paying them. So if you want to mention names, I'll come with the receipts.
Do you have evidence of them paying them?
Yeah, I will come with the receipts here.
Please bring them.
Yes.
Can Joachim give me time?
Yes,
on this podcast, you grab time.
I just wanted to.
Bunge la mwananchi.
Bunge la mwananchi.
Yes. Who is the IG of police?
Yeah, Kanja. Yes.
Have you ever seen Kanja speak explicitly about this?
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
Jagero, you have a platform where you can call Kanja.
Why is he not speaking though? Do you know?
And I think you should call Kanja here. And Kanja should be able to tell Kenyans why we haven't seen arrests or we haven't seen people taken to what? To court.
Yeah.
I know some have been arrested, some have been arraigned occasionally here and there, but some have been arrested, yes. Some already in court here and there. But why, if at all Kenyans have suspicion on laxity from the government side, the first person who should be able to respond eloquently and sufficiently about this matter so that we put it to rest is IG Douglas.
Who is the police spokesperson? Mr. Charles.
Charles Owino? No, he's not.
No.
Who is the
I don't want to go there.
No. Why don't
you
go there?
Come on.
Why
you all know the police spokesperson.
You don't know?
You all know. So why
Who is it?
Come on, Jagero. You can even Google police spokesperson.
So you are afraid of mentioning the...
It is not afraid of mentioning. If you
why are you not mentioning?
If you feel the police spokesperson is supposed to do something and they are not doing it, please just call them out.
But you mentioned Kanja.
Why are you not? Who is this person?
I am dealing with the person responsible.
No, but everyone has responsibility. Because when I look at this,
responsibility. So mine is not to call him to come and speak to
don't be selectively accusing people. Look here, we are looking at everyone's responsibility. We are looking at the Inspector General of Police. We are looking at the regional commanders. We are looking at the spokesperson. We are looking at the chief, commander-in-chief, who is also the appointing authority of the Inspector General. So it's a whole hierarchy. And there is something called an order. You remember that time when Analo, was it Analo? No. Joe, these two guys who are dramatically arrested with 500 million from Kenya Pipeline Corporation.
Yes.
MD Joe Sang.
Yes.
And the money that was picked from their house miraculously got lost from the police office. Then what was reported in the media? It was reported that an order from above had ordered the police that the money taken from Joe Sang's home and that those other two guys be taken to wherever it was taken. That's why you've never seen that case in court until today. So we are prosecuting everyone.
According to you, where is that order from above? Where is that above?
So when we look at the hierarchy, where is the end?
So above only means the farthest end?
No.
Yeah.
If it's not the farthest end, then it should be somewhere where, because we are looking at a very high stakes case. Who are the people involved here? The regional commander of Nairobi, the inspector general, and the president, who is now the ultimate head. So when we do not know where things went, how did they go?
Please
Who do we
familiarize
ask?
yourself with the Ngao structure, so that when even journalists allege that order from above, so you look at who is speaking and who could be above, so that you don't just assume that above
So
is
who
the
are you
president.
protecting? Because it seems you know the above that did not participate
I'm only
in this
saying,
thing.
if you familiarize yourself with the Ngao structure, the hierarchy.
Why is Kachola protecting Michael Nyagamushiri? Because he's the police spokesman. That's what I'm seeing here, right?
Yes.
Why is protecting him?
How?
Because you don't want to mention his name. What is the problem? I mean, he's not supposed to be mentioned.
I'm only saying,
Mr. Joaquim, he's not supposed to be mentioned.
A spokesperson of the police should communicate to the people the actions of the police, what they are taking to curb insecurity, what they have done to the culprits of causing insecurity. Because even laymen on the streets, when you ask them, who are the goons in this town? Someone will freely say so and so and so and so.
Yes.
They were not taken to Kiganjo to be trained on how to identify goons. Between you and me, it is that police officer who was trained to know when there could be violence, how to stop it.
Yes, how to nip it in the bud.
How to take them through the
But Kachola is being very, very dishonest. I'm very frustrated.
But
I like the
based
fact
on
that
where
when you say that I'm dishonest. Last time you said I was dishonest, and you quickly changed your mind. Maybe I want to make you change your mind.
Okay.
Jagero, there is what we call hierarchy.
Okay.
And in any discipline force, hierarchy supersedes anything else.
Okay.
Whereby, if you are not my immediate boss, Alionya is, irrespective of the orders you give, if they don't come from Alionya, I don't take them.
Okay.
That is how serious and how disciplined our forces are, be it the police, be it the military, and whatever. Therefore, you cannot, and I want to take away our minds, including led by Joachim, that when we talk of above, then we all assume automatically that we are talking about the president. We must begin to ask ourselves, if a journalist says alleged orders from above, who said alleged orders? At what level of hierarchy within Ngao structures?
Okay.
Then how many layers are above there? It could be the immediate, because no police takes order from anyone else if not the immediate boss. Yes. And that is why I'm telling you, whenever there's a problem with the police, even what happened in Kisumu, the first thing is, be it the PPO, be it the OCS, be it the ward, from that smallest unit, people will begin to be asked questions, and they report in layers.
Okay.
Up to who? Up to IG.
Yeah.
Then IG will do deliberations or debriefing to the other authorities now.
Now let me ask you.
At that level, why don't
I want to go to
always-
Alionya. Wajana
why
Musoni.
don't
Namuuliza
we
ndio
always
amalize uende kwa Alionya.
ensure that we question the guy who has been given the authority by our laws and regulations? Why do we want to always bypass this person who has been given the authority by laws and regulations and go to people who have not been given that direct authority?
Yeah.
Like who?
Yeah.
Like who has not been given that direct authority?
Which
That
one?
direct authority is not with the CS, it's not with the CS, it's with IG.
When we are seated in the National Security Council, who are the people seated there?
Now that's a different volume altogether.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you.
You don't want to
Let me
blame
ask you.
Yes.
He doesn't.
When we are
Again, he doesn't want that on the
discussing
table.
security, this issue that we are discussing here of goons,
Okay.
does it merit to be
Just
discussed
call
at
them
the
criminals.
National Security Council?
Just call them criminals.
Yes. Does it merit?
It does.
So when we are sitting in the National Security Council, who are the people in that room? Let's not be academic about it. For the sake of the audience.
Yes, tell us. Go ahead and mention them quickly.
No, he seems to know more than me, so he should be telling us.
No.
Because when you say that some people do not have direct authority,
okay,
then what are you telling us?
I am simply telling you that there is law that has to be followed. For even
so
the cabinet
what's their responsibility?
For even cabinet secretary in charge of security to give briefs to the cabinet on security situation in the country. He must get that brief from who? From the IG.
Yes. So
and
it's a whole chain.
It's a whole chain. Therefore, and remember, the CS his job is policy.
So when there is uncertainty of how things happened, because in most cases when we say an order from above, journalists, what they do, they don't tell you who said, because they don't want you to now start imagining from there, where is the above.
Okay.
So what you know is that there was an order from above.
Okay.
So there is uncertainty of where did things go wrong. In that case, who should be asked a question? The person we give the mandate,
and I blame always,
is the president.
I blame journalists for not putting to task the IG of police. Because whenever such things happen, the first person that should be put to task, the way you're now asking me questions, this first person
because you have taken this cross of defending the indefensible.
Yeah, and which makes this guy now sounds like a Senate, and we are in a Senate hearing.
And I am glad not to defend.
How do you feel? This guy looks like I don't know.
This is what I'm going to do for Nairobi. Nairobi people have a very big senator here.
Oh my goodness.
So this guy has been sent by the national government to defend the government.
Yeah.
So this is a Senate committee.
Okay.
He is unable to answer questions. he's actually sweating.
So you're already doing your job.
But I think he has really tried. He has really tried.
No, he's being academic, taking you through Ngao structure.
But you see, those are the realities, Joe.
I want to know what Ngao is. What is Ngao? What is a Ngao structure? No, Kajola. No, but that's a good question, right? What is a Ngao structure?
I don't know. They should tell
as an expert, he should be for the benefit of the audience.
Okay.
Because as Joachim, I might be aware.
Okay.
But you are speaking to how many people? 600 people are watching.
Yeah, but he's not telling us Ngao structure.
What Ngao structure is. So I'm imagining national government authority.
In your village, you have a clan elder.
A clan elder? I don't know. I think it's just from a chief.
About administration. That's not where we are in the Weyang. We are talking about the police system.
He has not even explained what a Ngao structure is, and you've already started talking.
Talking about some outdated structure.
You are going to be a senator.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the responsibility of talking to Kenyans in a manner that they begin to see the senator in you.
They have already seen that.
No. You must begin to talk to Kenyans.
I actually like the way Joachim has put you on the carpet. You have taken out your handkerchief. That's it.
So Joachim, if you go to your village in Bungoma, there's a village elder.
Yeah.
From village elder, you have an assistant chief.
Yes.
From assistant chief, you have a chief. Then you go upwards, all the way to the president,
county commissioner and regional commissioner.
Now, that structure
is
what we call the Ngao.
So it means it's a watertight structure.
Very watertight.
Even in the city, right?
Yes.
So whenever something is happening, now the government is able to know from the grassroots going up.
From the village.
But we end up having 200 youth on the road and the police is not aware.
That's the thing.
So you see where I'm coming from.
Whenever the police is aware,
yes.
Whenever this information is out in good time and the intelligence share it, as they normally do,
yes.
Then you realize that the police takes action. Maybe someday you woke up and you are unable to pass some road
CBD
because they had intelligence of some criminals.
Can I go to Alionya?
Please.
There is this boy called Ses. Sesiluma. all right, that was unfortunately shot and killed inside a government vehicle. But if we take steps back to what happened before that, we know that just 2 days before, he was in a police cell, having been arrested by the security, okay? Just 3 months ago, he beat up Boniface Mwangi here at PDF, and they took away 20,000 from Boniface Mwangi.
Yes.
All right? And when the news of the death of that young man came, I was actually out here taking tea with some of the activists. And they spoke very bad against that boy, that we told him that this is going to befall him. Okay? But if you look at the people that he was associating with on the day of his death, were government officials. You understand? And so the government actually, Fikirini, knows this guy and knows that he's not a very good boy. He
died in his vehicle.
In his vehicle.
Yes.
Right? And so this is the thing that and SES is just one of these boys. And we have to blame this in the economic situation that we are currently having as a country. That things are bad, so bad that people will be called and given 200 shillings to go in a town hall and then be given money after that, okay? And then call it government empowerment. So, Alionya, this is the problem that I think a lot of people are having, that we have all these people roaming the streets. The government knows them. The government sometimes often even work with them. And this is why when you explain Gao to Joaquim, it's difficult to land it, because he's wondering, I mean, the government know these people. What is the government doing? What is your government doing? Apart from building bypasses and big structural things, what is your government doing about the goons that they already know by name? How are they fixing it?
They can actually procure their services.
No, that's you saying.
Are you a Leon?
No.
So you've become a Leon?
No. I'm just thinking loudly.
Alionya, how do we solve this issue? This issue.
By the way, I've been a victim of SES before. There's a time I was going so hard on Babu. He once talked to me. Uhuru Park had come for the People's Dialogue Festival. He was also there.
The same PDF.
And he told me, Alionya, hii town hautatembea kama uheshimu Babu. And you see, after that, the evening, I think he called me with around other young men, and they told me they are in a restaurant, they have eaten, and I need to send them something. So I told him, just call Babu to sort you, because at least he's the leader you look up to. But over time, I think after that scenario and 2 scenarios at around Jivanji, we became friends. He realized that Alionya is not also an easy nut to crack. So I wasn't heading into
a fellow goon.
So you stopped Cecil.
So I didn't send...
You must be a hard nut to crack.
For sure.
So I didn't send him the money. And always, every time we met, I never gave him money. So I always told him, the leaders you look up to, let them send you money. But tulipeana heshima kidogo. So ideally, what the people are saying about SES is true, but SES didn't deserve to die. Up to now, we have not seen the video to actually see if truly he died in the vehicle or he died outside the vehicle. Because if you look at what Danstan Omari and the lawyers are saying, it is probably the fracas happened outside the vehicle. I'm hoping one of these fine days we'll have CCTV cameras, and I don't know why this one has delayed, for us to actually watch and see what happened. The 2 things are clear from that incident. Nobody deserves to die, whether they are goons or not. It is easier to arrest them and even probably rehabilitate them. The truth is, Cecil was rough with people. That one, we can't defend him on that, because even me have been a culprit. So probably politicians might have seen an opportunity to use him for political reasons. We might not know. But at least we have had people share their stories and we can tell. But we are allowing him to rest in peace. But this is a call to action, because I saw even Sam Atandi the other day say, if I'm coming into a political rally and you're a young person and you hang on my vehicle, then do not blame me for what happens to you. But whatever you're raising also is a serious concern that we need to face as a nation. The economic empowerment of young people. Is the 200 shilling, the 1,000 shilling, the proper economic empowerment? We can all agree that it is not enough. Because you give him 1,000 today, it means you have to give them tomorrow, and the day thereafter for them to be able kujimudu. So what can we really do to take care of our young people, especially those who are not employed? But let me tell you this also, Joachim, najua unataka kunimaliza, but I have interacted with young people, and there are some of these young people who have been called by politicians and told, can I give you a job? And they say no. Wamezoea hiyo kidogo, you come, Joachim comes and campaigns today, you drop whatever you have. Tomorrow, if Jalango is campaigning, they take whatever they have from him. So if young people in the urban centers can sit down, maybe work on a framework or a policy and say, if we are given this, or if we are given this amount of money to start businesses, or if we are employed in these places, then we are going to get away from the streets. Because without that, these young people are mezoea. You know, a politician comes, they hang on your vehicle, your vehicle cannot leave before you give them the amount of money they want. It happens. Hata Joachim ni venye tu wajaanza ku campaign. He will feel this.
No, I have faced them.
Now,
in Kariobangi.
We need to actually talk to
the place where you left your jacket and never went back for it.
Damaged the tire of the vehicle.
No, but you will buy it in the streets. You will need the jacket.
Someone sell it back to you. So actually, to me, I want to sijui nitaisema aje, because unajua if I speak negatively about it, these are young people will go to campaign tomorrow and kuna siku wataninyima microphone ama waseme siingi place flani. But ideally for us not to encounter what says encountered, and even if you look at the background that is coming from, clearly it is abject poverty. So probably he was doing some of these things to ensure that he's able to sustain himself. But were they the right things to do? No. These are things you cannot do for a long term, sustainability. Lakini mimi sijui nani ataongelesha vijana, because if you speak negatively against them, that it is war.
Do you think it is a pandemic?
It is a pandemic, because I can tell you today there are people who are now looking forward to when they will also attack Fikirini back to revenge for their guy. Eventually it might happen, or maybe the security will be able to neutralize it, but these are things that might escalate, people wanting to revenge for their guy, and the hierarchy continues, and it becomes a big bait of politicians against. In fact, sikuhizi wanaitwa per day watu ambao wana they hustle per day. It is the money.
Can you contextualize what is going on there? Just a moment, Joachim. What does per day mean?
Per day means young people making money from political rallies per day.
Okay.
So if we don't,
we are assuming. Okay, Joachim, this is very interesting.
And let me tell you something, because you had mentioned.
Okay.
There is a high likelihood Cecil was never invited in that meeting. These young people, once they know there's a meeting, Joachim is meeting with people tomorrow, they will show up, because they always have their way of getting your attention.
Okay.
So many a times you find some of them are not even the mobilized young people to come to any event, but they will always
get crushed
because they know they will get whatever they want because of how they have arranged. Kuna mtu ambaye ako kwa entrance, kuna mtu ambaye ako kwa exit, na kuna mtu ambaye anapatiwanga pesa. At time you will hear them saying, hata alioni achukue pesa atatupatia, hata fulani achukue pesa huyo atatupatia, kiongozi patia ule kijana. So until there's a difference between the criminals that you're talking about and a difference between young people just welcoming a politicians into a venue and releasing the politician from the venue.
Kumekuwa tu na masangwenya.
That is
masangwenya ni wale wamekuwa brooded differently.
So masangwenya hata wako western.
Masangwenya wako kila mahali.
Okay.
So how they behave, like my sister what she has said, if you didn't invite them,
okay,
they don't demand a particular amount of money. Whatever you give them,
it's fine.
It's fine. But if you invited them, they give you a budget.
Okay.
That mdosi
in an Excel sheet.
No, they tell you, mdosi umetuita, niko na mbogi yangu ya watu 60.
Okay.
Tupatie nini?
2,200.
1,200. So when you agree to that, and later on you give them 50, that's now where things go south. And I told you, Jagero, those people have the capability to stop understanding what you are saying. It doesn't matter how flowery you are speaking. Also depending on the relationship that you have with them. If you promise them 200,000, then on the material day you give them 50, you are going to have problems. You better tell them from the word go that you are not going to raise the 200 And whatever you will have, you will give them. That's different. But now, how did we embolden the goons to this point?
Okay.
You remember when we were having our Gen Z protests, there was an element of infiltration. And we started complaining about it and said, no, look, protests have been peaceful to some extent, but at some point, tunaona vijana wanaingia, hawajakuja kuprotest, wamepewa hadi rungu, mipini. Some people have openly said that we also have our youths. They have their youths, we have our youths. So from that emboldenment of getting into protests and robbing people, there was a time I had to use expressway, but also walikuwa juu ya expressway. Sasa nikashangaa walitokea wapi? Wako juu ya expressway. There is nobody anywhere. Yeah, wanatungojea. The luck I had that day is that I had some loose change and they knew me. So wakasema we mtu ya Wanjigi we pita uende. Ati mtu ya Wanjigi. Wakasema rafiki Wanjigi alikuwa rafiki ya baba weenda. So we emboldened them. At some point there were lines goons didn't step. But when we started providing police to accompany them to their areas of operation, that's when we started going wrong. Today, the confidence you see with these young people is so high because they know you can't take them anywhere. And at some point, the first victims will be the same politicians. Because when Atandi said that don't hang on my car, they prevented him from accessing his car. Wakasema wao walisema tusihang kwa gari, tumalizanie hapa. That is the chairperson of the budget in parliament being accosted on the ground. What will happen to some people like us?
Now, Jagero, you know, these criminal gangs, we are not witnessing them for the first time. You grew up in Kisumu, now the Kisumu County. You knew of Baghdad, right?
Yeah.
You knew
China.
of the China squad.
Yeah.
If you went to Kisii and Nyamira areas, you knew of the Chinkororo. If you went to Mombasa, you knew of the Pakistan boys. And they were all over.
Kulikuwa na Kabuchai Defense Force.
Yes.
Ya Wetangula.
Kabuchai Defense Force.
We even had the Sabaot Land Defense Forces.
That was bad.
And you know how it
those
was.
Those were not goons. A goon with a machine gun.
That's why I'm not calling these people goons. These people are criminals. Yes, let us not fancy this.
They evolve. They start as goons.
You all know the history of.
But I also think that I also think that you're comparing oranges and apples.
Just a minute. Jagero, you know what China squad could do.
Yeah.
You know what Baghdad in Kisumu could do.
Yeah.
Baghdad said no entry from Bidnya Masari or where. You don't enter. You enter, you are skinned alive.
Yeah.
But how did we move from there? We must begin to deal with this thing from a point of policy. We cannot deal with it like we are going to deal with wild animals.
Okay.
We must begin to deal with this thing from a point of policy. And I want to call on young scholars who are doing political science in this country. Can they begin to examine this at their research level? How did we arrive where we are?
How about the ones that are getting salary?
I don't think that
just to do the dark job. How about we start with the people getting the salary?
That is why I said we begin from a policy level.
Yes.
So when you begin from a policy level, you will take first class honors, or the Alionians of this world.
Yes, first class.
Yes. And begin to tell them now, can we begin to have a research paper on this thing? Because when you do a proper academic research paper, Jagero, you will go down to Nyalenda, to Kondele, to Kiamaiko, wherever in this country, and speak with them. I think it is in this very channel.
Speak with the goons?
Yes. I think it's in this very channel.
You can't speak with goons.
You can.
You can, yes.
Hold.
Unaweza, yes.
Hold.
So you do research papers, they continue plying their business.
Yeah, but that is how the BBC has always done their research.
Just a minute.
Senators.
You see, a senator must be orderly. You see, when you do a research, and one day, I think it is in this very platform, that it's called the board member of Mama Lucy. I'm forgetting. Gaucho narrated how he met Jacom, how he met Baba, how he protected a zone that nobody could enter that zone. In the slums, you had to see Gaucho first before you even hold a rally or talk to people in that particular zone. So when you do a serious academic paper, then you will begin to understand where we are coming from, and then now policy makers do not formulate policies from the air. They formulate policies based on scientific research, both social and scientific, that will inform them. Now, if this is the situation at hand, how then do we deal with it? Then we form policies, then we make laws that will solve this problem once and for all.
Let me ask a question. As a Gen Z, wait, you know, he has mentioned some gangs. I think they were there in which years? So how did they disappear?
That is where
they were shot by the police.
They were killed.
They were killed.
Yeah, they were shot brutally by the police.
Joachim, if today you had a goon who stole from yourself the jacket has been shot, will you fight for his right?
Okay, humans are allowed to live regardless of what they do. But again,
yes,
he's a human being. He needs to.
He just needs to bring back the jacket.
Now, the thing is, in this life there are consequences.
Yeah.
And when I speak to young people, I tell them, once you have been labeled a goon, you have two disadvantages. There is automatic dislike for you by the ordinary people. Even from your family members, wakisikia fulani ni goon, they wanaanza kuambia watoto wao msitembee na yule. So your approval rating from the people has gone down. And the thing is, the authorities that are using your services today are more likely to turn against you tomorrow to save their face. Because there is nothing as important to a politician as his reputation. So if it means killing you to save his face and look like a performing one, you will be shot by the police. And they will come with files and say, this one has been terrorizing people. And you will not lack one or two people from the general public saying that actually that is true.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening to Cecil Ouma. People are like, actually, this was not a real good man.
You are telling me that the comments on his Facebook were...
Yeah, there was a poster for his fundraiser.
Yeah.
The comments are acerbic. So when you are in that area, you already have no friend. Now, how did we come to exist? I think this is a resource problem. That out of the young people leaving school and joining the streets, how many of them get opportunities to survive, to fend for themselves? When it comes to a point of survival, people tend to behave like animals. I think one of the actions we should do as the country to reduce these cases is that let us provide opportunities, and not this tokenism we are seeing. Opportunities where you say a young person has an opportunity with a steady source of income. I have told Jagero several times that the young people working in this studio is not because they are better than the ones being goons. It's because these ones have something that keeps them busy at the end of the day. I told you again, these masangwenyas we have had, like Gaucho wakati alistop Raila kwenda Mukuru. These people have been there for a very long time. But now, the lines have been crossed. The river have broken their banks. So there is need to go back and say, where did we go wrong here? I think it's a resource problem. And it's becoming hard and hard when you look like you are the reason why politicians are the target is because there is a widespread perception from the people that people with money are politicians. That for you to buy land very fast become a politician.
But how is that a lie? Because Alionya's party leader was having a basket full of millions of money. You know, unasikia inaitwa pesa iko na bandage.
Yes.
Kwa mgongo.
Yes. Actually, he forgot that the letter D in ODM stands for democracy. So he replaced ODM with BDM.
What is that?
Benevolent Dictatorship Movement. You heard him say that. That you need some benevolent dictatorship. This is
but he retracted and said that it doesn't mean that Tutu should be a dictator.
What did he mean then?
Alionya will tell us.
But
what did he mean?
I think what Uburu meant.
What Uburu meant? I like that.
He has started by the term I think.
Yes,
so,
very correct. Thank you. I think what Uburu meant, and allow me, I'm not speaking on his behalf, but Uburu having studied in Asia, Uburu having studied in Asia, he must be knowing what we call as Chinese democracy, the democracy with Chinese characteristics. I don't think he meant that President William Ruto should be a dictator, but he was just saying, can we have a democracy with Chinese characteristics?
Like now, what is that democracy?
Now, very good. I will give you a paper that I wrote on leadership with democracy.
Senate hearing.
I will give you a paper that I wrote on democracy with Chinese characteristics. I will give it to you so that we don't waste a lot of time on that. So in this case,
when we start such kind of democracy with the Chinese characteristics, who will be the first culprit? Is it the ordinary Kenyans or the people in leadership?
It's not who will be the first culprit. It is who will be the most beneficiary.
No. We must have a culprit, then out of that action, we have a beneficiary.
In fact, I think leaders will be culprits. In this, the rest of the Kenyan population will
what I got
be
from that
beneficiaries.
statement. He was speaking out of this abundant freedom of speech.
No.
That you can just start today and say, Kasongo.
You know,
you can go to court and say, hey, look, this one has to stop fast.
Do you know, for example, I think what you think is not correct. Because do you know, for example, in China, people demonstrate almost on a daily basis. But there's nothing that happens to them. It is just that there are set rules and regulations that are agreed upon by the people and are strictly followed by the people.
So the difference is the rules in China are strictly followed.
Yes.
But here,
we
something
circumvent them. So when you circumvent them, there are dire consequences. Now that is the Chinese characteristic. So it's a full democracy, but with a level of Chinese characteristics.
So if that's the case, and if such things have to happen, then I have a very big doubt that the current regime can be the one to officiate that, because I have several reasons why they cannot.
Well, you got your chances to doubt or not to doubt.
No, it's not about doubt. It's things that you see.
But one thing we have to agree is that there is no saint from heaven. We are all here.
No, we are talking about saints.
We must make it happen in all manner of ways, and in the making,
I'm agreeing.
There could be jitters here and there could be a push.
No, I'm agreeing,
just to get it done.
But I also want you to agree that cannot be done with this regime in place.
Okay, let's go to Kenya. Let's go to the Kenya Electoral Vulnerability Index, a pre-election risk ahead of the 2027 general election. We are being told by the Annan Foundation that the predicted probability of any electoral violence in 2027 is actually at 84.1%. And I think this is being drawn largely from the idea of Goonism in this country. Okay, so and then there is the risk index of 45%, all right, and Kenya is basically scoring 51% in terms of security, below the regional average. all right? And they are saying that most of the Kenyan neighborhoods in urban cities are not safe at all for the Kenyans, all right? So that is the issue that we are having right now, because if we look at Kenya, we are at 45.4%. Sub-Saharan Africa baseline is 51%, all right? So obviously Kenya has got, is doing very well in as far as high-risk countries is concerned. It is the institutions are stronger than most high-risk countries, where most high-risk countries are Somalia, South Sudan, and so on and so forth. Now, we have the core argument here that we have a strong civil society, an active judiciary, increasingly institutionalized elections, but because of expectations are high, Joachim is having a very high expectation in 2027 and also in tomorrow in Olkalau. The public reacts sharply if institutions look captured and inconsistent or unprepared. There is also the number 2 problem, according to the Kofi Annan Foundation, that the Iebc is perhaps the single point of failure for most Kenyans. So they are lamenting the commission appointments, technology procurement, result transmission, voter registration, and the report also argues the pre-election period may matter as much as polling day itself. Number 3, which is very strong, actually, is Raila Odinga's death, which occurred in October 2020, is the wild card. They're saying that a double effect on the opposition. So the Raila's death weakens a familiar command structure. Mobilizations become less predictable. And they're saying that if you look at the bigger research, they're saying that there is segmentation. That we can have, for example, right now, Nyanza is no longer under one person. That we can have, I don't want to name names, several people commanding different. Orengo is already running around away with Siaya.
Although we didn't Migori.
No, it is outside. Why are you exporting our own son to Migori?
Koma kabisa wewe. Okay.
He has taken all Yugis to himself.
Yes. And then there is also the other issue of open space for new alliances, general claims, and less disciplined local bargaining. All right? Violence may not follow traditional hotspot geography. Urban centers with cost of living anger and police community. This is what we have been talking about. Urban centers with cost of living. I mean, can you imagine somebody getting into a restaurant in the dead of the in the day and telling people? I mean, that is, I saw those videos and it was interesting. So we, Mr. Kashola, Alionya, and Joachim, we have got the 5 drivers of conflict, majorly. We have trust in the Iebc and technology. And this is, I was asking Alionya that it is only in 2022 that I did not hear a presidential candidate actually blaming the Iebc. That was His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. He never blamed the Iebc.
Umesema ya kwanza ni trust in Iebc.
Trust in an Iebc technology, all right? Ethical and local patronage competition, all right? So presidential alliances still run on regional ethnic blocks. We saw Morara has actually, your friend Morara has actually joined Matiang'i, and he's saying it's calling people political harlots, including Pauline Njoroge. He's doing a good job.
Let me tell you, Pauline Njoroge went and looked for Matiang'i from World Bank. Matiang'i came. Pauline Njoroge said, "You are the hope of Kenyans."
Okay.
They moved him across this country.
Was Matiang'i working at all World Bank?
The Gen Z body that you see today with Sifuna
was Matiang'i working at World Bank?
Why are you heckling Alionya?
Queens with Matiang'i, and then after a while they have now run away from him. Let me tell you one frustration I have with Matiang'i.
Okay.
I think the past 2 months he has been campaigning, and even Pauline Njoroge, who is the greatest, so online influencer, never post about those.
Pauline is fronting
the democracy to choose where she supports.
But she sits in a neck. It's it's like you leo nikupate unasema ati Wamunyoro for president for new term, and you have Jimmy Wanjigi.
Yes, how does that happen?
If Jimmy is okay with it, why do you have?
Why do you assume that Jimmy is okay with it?
No, if he has not reprimanded me, it means he's okay with it.
Matiang'i has no.
How do you know that maybe I have asked for his permission?
That's why we are going for Matiang'i.
Jagero.
As ODM.
You are going for Matiang'i?
We have sent Simba around.
Jagero, just a minute.
To go and get Matiang'i.
Never listen to Alionya.
Jagero, just a minute. There is need always, and you'll be told this in Senate, that a member has to be heard in silence.
Yes, I am wondering.
So at least begin to acquaint yourself
and interject
with
a point of what? What do you say? Hey, Katola, you're the one who was going to school. A point of what? It's called a point of what?
A point of order.
Yes.
There are no standing orders here.
But Morara is doing a good job in Jubilee. In fact.
But Morara is calling Pauline Njoroge a harlot, a political harlot.
It is the truth. I mean, if you were Matiang'i, how would you feel?
No, these people are sowing seeds of discord. And I want to tell you why.
Can we go back to where we were?
We want to go back. I just want to disagree with something.
Okay, we are going back.
Was really Matiang'i working at World Bank? How do you know he worked there?
Well, whatever the World Bank meant at the time.
No.
Yeah.
If he really worked there.
Yeah.
As who?
But that's the
with his qualification, he should have been president of World Bank. Then show us the resignation letter.
Okay.
So do you have a problem with knowing whether he works?
No, I am.
What is your point with the World Bank thing?
I am dismantling the base with which Alionya is starting from.
Okay.
That Pauline Njoroge went to World Bank.
So you would rather say that
World Bank first of all was not there.
Do you know if he was in Minnesota in a Kissy clinic?
I don't know, but World Bank was not there.
So where was he?
I do not know, but what I know.
But I know he was in World Bank.
No.
So at least you are speaking from a point of not knowing.
No, he was not there.
Where was he?
I don't know.
But they went and took him from where he was. And you see Matiang'i was in his retirement. Ila amenyamaza ametulia.
But how can you blame Pauline Njoroge for that? How old is Pauline?
You see, the Gen Zs were calling for Matiang'i and the likes of Akina Maraga.
Is Pauline a Gen Z?
Pauline Njoroge were the first people to say,
Pauline a Gen Z?
Come back but start from Jubilee Party. They would have
Where did she say that?
Surely. You have not seen Pauline Njoroge fronting Matiang'i and saying this is the hope.
And you know what I don't understand, Mr. Kachola, is that why is Pauline Njoroge being blamed for the decisions Matiang'i made?
Why?
Matiang'i was the interior minister. He was actually having 3 portfolios at the time. Yes. So suddenly he's taking orders from Pauline Njoroge.
In 30 seconds, let me land my point.
Okay, land.
We are actually not blaming Pauline Njoroge. We are just trying to open the eyes of Edwin Sifuna. Because tomorrow, if another bright young person comes,
she has jumped to Sifuna.
Exactly. They will heap hope.
I see what Alionya is saying now. Very important.
That is the only. I'm not
very important,
blaming, because even me, I have shifted.
So why would you want to open Sifuna's eyes?
Because so he's not seeing. People like you are lying to him.
Why do you want him to see?
So because he was our former Secretary General, I wouldn't wish for him.
Do you really care about him?
I really care.
No, you do not.
I don't want him to become
no, you care about him.
Kajola, this is sweeter than the post-election violence.
Why would you want him to see?
They're lying to our son. They're lying to our son.
No.
Why are you comfortable with Sifuna being lied to?
No.
Is Safina part of the scheme?
No, we are not part of any scheme. Our only scheme is to solve the economic problem.
But why are you interested in this?
I know she's not being sincere.
I'm being very
by saying.
But Sifuna is a prodigal son that had to be let go by ODM under very difficult circumstances.
A prodigal son.
Because they're telling him to leave ODM, thinking that he will get a soft landing in Jubilee. Shock on him.
Which is not there, right?
It is not there.
I do not know, and I do not want to hold.
Why did you guys tell Sifuna to leave ODM?
Who told him? Did Sifuna leave ODM?
Yes.
Sifuna ameshikilia ODM hivi kama kuna mtu ameshikilia chama ya baba. Ni Sifuna. Ametoka ODM lini? Mimi hiyo sijui.
Ametoka, amekwenda.
Si alikuwa na mayendo walipanga press wakasema tumemtoa. Alitoka lini?
Kama SG, sio kama member.
Sasa sio kama member.
Wewe sasa
he can work in other areas.
Wewe ukifutwa kama CEO, do you still keep being there as a?
But that is why the word demotion is there. There is an English word called demotion, by the way. You
Most
have never heard
people when they are demoted, they resign.
No.
Most people, not unless you.
Ruto was demoted by His Excellency the President, the former President Uhuru. Hakuwa anatuma yeye mahali.
Lakini a demotion.
It was.
No, they never touched.
I mean,
Skiza.
Itumi became.
They never touched.
There were people that were bigger than the President Ruto, right?
they never touched his constitutional power.
Yes, but they stripped him of everything. It was like Magwanga in Nini.
That is what William Ruto did. To make you feel that he had been stripped of power.
Jagero.
Yes.
He did not. He was not.
You want us to go back? Let's go back.
He thinks it's safer to go back.
The diplomat doesn't like noise.
Bwana, this is sweet, Bwana.
Now I know what is sweet.
You know, this Kachola guy does not want to be involved in political party politics.
Yeah.
And which is very frustrating. He thinks that he's very clever.
For the sake of banter.
He thinks he's very clever.
For the sake of banter.
Continue pulling my leg, Jagero. It's okay.
For the sake of banter.
You know, when you see my friend Joaquim Mandalionya here take 5 to 7 good minutes talking about Sifuna, it tells you that there's something still important in Sifuna.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my brother. We come from the same.
And so
we come from Kakamega.
Can I be heard in silence?
Can you be heard in
silence? So when they take 5-7 minutes talking about Sifuna, it means there's something they actually admire in Sifuna, which is perfectly so.
Yeah.
When they take good time talking about Pauline Njoroge, there is something either they admire so much or they dislike so much in Pauline Njoroge, which is politically okay. But I think there is something very pressing that is on the table, and you've elaborated it there.
Yeah.
In pointers.
Yeah.
That is where I want us to go.
Okay. Let's. So then I want to. Lakini ya Sifuna ilikuwa tamu sana. Hata Kenya unakubali, si ndio?
Hata Wakenya nyumbani. It is an important.
But in a class of physics, you stop and talk about God, kidogo.
Yeah. Unatakaje?
Wait, and today's cameras, I don't like them. Tunakaa kama tuko kwa moshi.
No, it's fine. It will.
Kama hii ndio mbaya.
No, it will come. It's fine. It is fine. Don't worry.
Kama niko mawinguni.
No, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. It's very good. Okay. It will once the live comes to an end. It usually goes back to normal. Yeah. So anyway, I want to start with Kachola. Kachola, what happened in 2007?
Jagero, I think whenever we have such issues to discuss, we need a lot of sobriety.
Okay.
Because when we talk about 2007, there are people who are still living with the scars of 2007.
Yeah.
So when you tell them that there is a possibility, when Kofi Annan Foundation, based in Geneva, tells us that there's a possibility of having another post-election violence, I think it is something that the authority must take, and it must be discussed at the highest level, possibly at the cabinet or the National Security Council level, and maybe interrogate, seek the foundation to give, just away from what they have published, what are other facts that they have that could help the country to avert such things. But it brings me to one thing, the Johan Kriegler report. The good professor from the Republic of South Africa came here. We all remember Johan Kriegler.
Johan Kriegler.
Yes, and when he came here, there is what we call the Kriegler report. It's not a big document. It's some sort of, I think in the 30s or to 60 page document that we can all read. In the Johan Kriegler report, there is one question that he asked, and that is the question that I want us to begin from. So in the Kriegler report, he asked, why did Kenya experience electoral violence in 2007? So, and then he enumerates all those reasons why Kenya experienced electoral violence in 2007. Now we have the Kofi Annan Foundation asking a question stemming from the Kriegler report question. And Kofi Annan Foundation is asking, have the conditions that produced such violence in 2007, have they been sufficiently addressed to prevent any possible violence. One of the things that was in the Kriegler report and is in this Kofi Annan Foundation report is the appointment of the commissioners. And we delayed as a country to have commissioners in good time. Even when we tried, you remember this thing we began when, way back, immediately after the, you remember that NADCO report? Mm-hmm. You remember the NADCO report? We had the NADCO report. When NADCO report was out, that is when we were to begin the what? The search for other commissioners. Because in the Johan Kriegler report, it says at least 3 years before a general election. But in the attempts to get, even however we were late, but in the attempts to get commissioners then, we still had the very political leadership of this country go to court. And remember, we were in court for over 1 year, just on who should be there. At one point, I think President Ruto was frustrated and he said, ambieni ndugu yangu Kalonzo, achane na hii mambo, at least tuwe na commission. We can't proceed without, and you know there are so many elections that could not be, by elections, that could not be held because we did not have substantive office holders. So it is the electoral vulnerability that we could be facing, according to this report, stems from such. Then the trust deficit that we've always, as Kenyans, imposed on the electoral body. And one of the leaders once said, I think it is one of the commissioners now, he said, Dr. Halutalala Mkwana is a commissioner. In one of the interviews, he said, people will always have a doubt based on where they stand. And you've mentioned, Jagero, that it is only 2022 that nobody cast a doubt on electoral body. Why? Because there are some quarters of political class that believed that this time round we have the system, and therefore even that Iebc is on our side. There's another faction that solely believed and stated, President William Ruto during his campaigns, you remember, while in, I think, Thika, he said, hata mkiweka Dr. Odinga hapo kama Iebc chair, it won't change the results. I will beat you hands down. The confidence he had in the institution, the confidence we must begin to give our institution must first stem from our leadership. Because what we consume as the population, what we consume from our leaders inform a lot of our opinion against or about the institution. So it is time that our leaders begin to have confidence. Whereas there is a challenge, like the United Opposition last time did, they walked to Iebc, the doors are open, they had a conversation. That is where we must begin to, how we must begin to strengthen our institution. We can't have institution, fund them with the public money, taxpayers' money, and then tear them down. I yield the floor.
All right. Mr. Joachim, what do you think happened in 2007 that we are drawing from that might make us have a problem this time around?
The violence in 2007 started showing signs very early.
The precursor.
Yes, it started showing signs. It stemmed from the sense of betrayal immediately after 2002. Some people who felt they had done a very good job for Kibaki to win felt like they had been put aside. And there was disregard to the MOU between Raila Odinga and Kibaki. And out of that, they were supposed to have a new constitution in, was it first 100 days? But now that MOU was disregarded by the powers that be, the blue-eyed boys of Kibaki that took over. So it's out of that the disagreement that brought to the 205 referendum, where now Kenyans had to be asked, do you want a constitution or not? Let the people decide if they want this thing or not. So a very good number of Kenyans said, we want a new constitution. Because previously we had Muungano wa Mageuzi prior to the 2002 election that was saying, no election, no reforms, no election. The election reforms. So when the 2005, the how do we call it, the referendum, Mwai Kibaki lost. He fired the whole cabinet. And that marked the area where he started mismanaging the politics. He has the lowest rating on managing politics in the country. And there was something about the balkanization of the whole country against the tribe of Mount Kenya, saying that these are people who only care about themselves, they don't care about us. And Raila mobilized the small communities and said it is us for ourselves because those ones are for themselves. So can we take government? And there was a whole countrywide feeling that Raila Odinga was supposed to be president and he was ahead. I remember him riding on a bus coming here to Uhuru Park with the Pentagon members. It was massive. So the people couldn't imagine this is Raila losing. So the elections are coming in. There is a famous newspaper headline saying Raila takes an early lead. So people are going to bed knowing that we have Raila as our new president. But when they wake up tomorrow morning, things Tharakanithi, Juja, and I remember William Ruto banging the table.
Can you give us the true results?
And he was using Juja as an example.
Yes.
That how can a member of parliament, was it a member of parliament?
Yes.
Getting lower votes than a president in your constituency? I remember him asking those questions. So the aspersions that were cast on the election results were so huge, but the determination on the government side to push their way in is what broke the camel's back. And at KICC, before they announced the elections, Raila and his team was chased out of KICC. So if you are a candidate who has a nationwide following, and your followers see you being pushed out of an area where election results should be announced, then something is terribly wrong. So I'm told they went where? Is it somewhere in Runda? At 6 in the evening, an announcement was made that Kibaki had won election. Now that, in the next 72 hours, there was butchering that had never been witnessed. So people of Raila felt like, no, you cannot do it to us. The other ones were like, no, we have to get it whatever comes. So that's what brought us the highest and the biggest post-election violence even today. 1,600 people are documented to have died that time, and 6,000 people displaced from their own homes. Some have never gone back. So it captured the attention of the international community. That's when we get Kofi Annan, Professor Johannes Kriegler, Benjamin Mkapa from Tanzania, coming in to try and bring normalcy and look at how do we stop this violence from going on. And other countries, because we had the UN headquarters here, other countries had started lobbying to the US that, look, Kenya is not stable. Can you move the headquarters and bring it to our countries? South Africa had lobbied, and Tanzania had lobbied. So we were going to lose the UN headquarters, I'm told that's one of the reasons Raila accepted to a handshake with Kibaki.
But then when you talk about the precursor of 2007, what would you say would be the precursor now if we were to believe the 84% that is being floated by the same Kofi Annan that flew into the country and sat between Kibaki and Raila Odinga in post election of 2007?
I think
do you think we have the same things going on right now?
I think the similar midterm question emanates from the 2024 protest by the Gen Zs. From there, the president has never been the same. He has to keep on proving to Kenyans that I have the approval from Kenyans and it's not as you think. And from that time, the determination from a very large, very big quarters of this country who feel that William Ruto going home is good news for this country is undeniably a very high number. And there are instances we are seeing, like the violence, that the only entity capable of organizing violence to such kind of magnitude is government. So it brings a perception that government is prepared to do anything to preserve themselves and preserve their power. And when you look at the election from 2002 up to now, every re-election of a president has had violence. In 2007 was the biggest. In 2013 it went slow. In 2017, the re-election of Uhuru Kenyatta, people died. You remember, Baba, when you were away, more than 60 young people died on that day. In 2022, it goes down because now there is no re-election of a president. But in 2027, it is another election where there has to be a re-election of a president who is in power. So when you look at the trends, you realize that there is a very high possibility of violence. Because the need to perpetuate yourself in power and the determination from the people to tell you that you are actually one term. Yes, so there is that tug of war.
Alionya, do you believe this number is pretty high? 84% of likely violence. Do you believe it?
84 is too high, but I genuinely believe we must have a deliberate discussion about electoral violence in future. But even aside from what my two brothers are saying in terms of the political trust people have in the Iebc, we must to some extent blame the political class, because if you're going into an election and you paint Iebc, I know I come from a party that has painted Iebc wrongly, but I have listened to Alutalala several times as he makes his remarks, and he says if you're coming into an election and you have already accused Iebc of being, is it impartial or partial?
Partial.
Yes. And you know, you are speaking as a leader. Like if today Kalonzo came and said this and this and that, there are people who believe him because of the following he has. The same to Rigathi Gachagua, etc. So even the political class must also help the citizenry to develop trust in Iebc. Because with all honesty, this Iebc is trying to some extent. Someone will do something wrong, they will punish them, either in terms of penalties, either in terms of reprimanding them to retract the statements they have said, etc. So we have a problem of politicians saying the Iebc is biased without justification. Yeah, like whatever we are seeing now, the letters being fronted left, right, and center, blaming the chair and saying if we don't win the election, you will resign. You see, it is setting a precursor for violence. You are already setting the mind of your people that if I don't win this election, then you need to help me go for the head of the chairperson of the commission. So equally, as we have little trust in Iebc as the citizenry, the political class from both sides have a task of helping us or convincing us that we are going into an election, and both sides will do their best to win an election. Aside from the trusts, there is the item of Raila's vacuum being a problem. And, you know, as Joachim was speaking, I remembered Raila's journey. You know, the stories they are saying they are stories we just used to hear because by that time we were toddlers, we didn't even know how to bathe. But every time after an election, people knew that probably the president would look for Raila, have a handshake, or have the broad-based. For 2027, we genuinely don't know what will happen. Now, the greatest problem I see as a challenge also is this aspect of the winner takes it all. Because the people who lose an election will always feel like we don't belong. So will the current political class change this narrative? It is possible. Can we formalize the office of the opposition leader? So that is, I've just asked another question, but you will always have your time to answer. And these are questions that the Commissioner Alutalala keeps asking.
Why do you think that should be formalized?
I've just asked as a question.
No, but there has to be a reason for you to saying that.
Let me tell you.
Is it a good thing? How is it good?
Whether it is good or bad, it's I have my own
to create a Raila, you mean?
Not a Raila. You know, there is no Raila because Raila alikuwa anaweza kurudi nyuma, anasema for the sake of the country, I can always accept.
I can imagine Gachagua.
Now imagine Gachagua now being told Ruto has taken.
Why are you imagining officers with individuals in your mind?
No, I'm just,
You're just trying to imagine.
Why are you so rigid? You can't imagine?
No, it's not that imagination is bad, but this issue of opposition.
Okay. Why
have nothing?
Why don't you like it?
No, I want to, when I lose, and I lost because I've actually not got enough votes, I have no problem. I don't think people have any.
What is the reason for the office of the opposition? What was it supposed to kill?
Because to appease the second most, the first runners.
Is that the reason? Yes. That's what you're thinking.
No,
what do you mean to appease?
The question is winner takes it all.
Yes. So to cure that, people would always think because you have the office of the opposition.
The issue is on the fairness of the electoral outcome. Even if you won and you took it all, but I didn't get enough votes, I try next time.
Now, as I was landing my point, I was raising it as a challenge because I think the foundation had mentioned Raila's absence is also a factor to consider because there are now new alliances that are forming ethnical groups that can actually lead us to clashes. So as a country, that's why I asked, do you think we need to have a cure to the winner takes it all?
Yes.
And that's why I was proposing. But that is for Kenyans to decide.
I mean, I always think that somebody getting 6 million votes from Kenyans and not having any office after that is pretty crazy, right?
No, you have influence. You don't need an office.
Jagero, there is something that we...
I'm getting you next, but I want to read out to the people of the internet the core reasons for establishing the office as Kenya had attempted, institutionalizing accountability. That is provision of a formal legally recognized framework to keep ruling executive on its toes. In quotes, there was the curing the winner takes it all mentality, creating a designated space for election runners-up so they do not become virtual strangers in leadership, which often causes political friction. So Sufuria movement, for example, you know, if Raila had an office where he could simply go after that election and be given vehicles instead of having to go to State House to be given vehicles and you know, like Uburu now has been given vehicles.
Uburu has been given.
Yeah, the L whatever. What are they called?
L500 or 600.
Yeah. So Uburu. Yeah. So it would just be there would be a fund for him to buy those things. So
I think
so that Uburu does not have the burden of carrying money in baskets.
It is not about Uburu or anybody.
You know, I've not finished talking.
Okay.
People always interrupt me.
Okay.
And I'm the only
and who is interrupting you actually? Joaquin.
Now she's throwing the gender card.
Speaking on behalf of all the ladies.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, to salvage the problem ahead, I think now, I know there are a lot of electoral rules and regulations that have been put in place, but Iebc should develop tough penalties for people who try to even incite people into
violence. Is it the
one of them?
There is the other body, Leonia. The other one for
NCIC. I think. Okay. I'm just trying to give my thoughts.
Okay.
The Iebc should stop now punishing the individuals and now start punishing political parties.
Okay.
So that we say, if today we have had ODM has caused violence at this place, then ODM will be banned from
the way
even
they do to
contesting.
SACCOs.
Exactly. So that this pain can be, telling a member of parliament bring 1.5 million, to them that's pocket change. Anaingia tu NGCDF, amepewa 130 million, anatoa 1.5, anapeana. So if we develop tougher penalties for political parties, so that the political parties can also start instilling discipline in their, or the people who take or who flag their, their political parties into elections. Number 2, the political class should help us believe the IEBC. Like, I loved the unity that the political class of Olkalau had when IEBC said we are going to cancel this election. All of a sudden everyone said apana hakuna ku cancel election. So if the political class can also unanimously try to help citizenry believe in IEBC by saying I believe nitatafuta kura enough so that I am able to win the election, and it will not be that someone stole this election. And the other aspect, as a country, we need to think of this winner takes it all. I think the current president is trying, because in as much as we didn't vote for him, Alionia included, there is electricity going to our homes, there is roads going to our region. To him, he is trying.
He's not campaigning.
Whether it's campaigning or not, it is trying to neutralize and solve a problem. Because by now, probably we would be on the roads, castigating this government from morning to the evening. But after realizing that he has been elected as the president of the country, whether Wajir voted for him or not, he's able to take development.
So you realized
there.
when?
I realized this last year.
Oh.
Yes. See, the other year I was with you making, but I'm saying the current president is trying. But
you don't want Alionia to support the president.
Why should you support a murderer?
I mean,
now, Jagero,
the ambassador has come in.
because he's going off the rail.
Yes. And your work is to bring him back.
Jagero.
Yes.
The most pressured
Can I be heard in silence?
development is the human life of the people you are living.
This is the problem with Yakim. Is very difficult to deal with.
I was just looking at some of the points that were raised by the
Kofi
Annan Foundation. And you look at them, then you ask yourself, where do we get information today? Unlike 2007.
Yeah.
2007, we were all glued on TV, we were all listening to radio. And that is why, by the time President Kibaki was announced as the winner of that election, the next thing is all radio stations except KBC were shut down.
Oh, were they?
Yes. There was no live broadcast. They were just playing music. No live broadcast.
Waliambiwa ukicheza tutaenda huko Limuru tungoe.
So you can imagine, we all depended on TV and radio. Today, we don't need TV and radio to know what is going on in Olkalau. I don't think I've watched TV to know what is going on in Olkalau. We are all there on social media getting information. Many times, we only go to TV for verification of the information. Meaning we still have the mentality of TV, for them to report, there's that authenticity, there is that originality, and there is also accuracy that they do the reporting. So, the growing misinformation from social media, if not clearly managed, properly managed, we are going to have problems.
Yeah.
So we must begin, the government must begin to see to it at a policy level. How can we manage misinformation, not just for the sake of election, but for the good of this country, so that we don't have misinformation. Imagine of a situation where political headache announces here that candidate A has won, and then IEBC announces later that candidate C has won. So those who actually believe in political Iebc as their only channel of information will say IEBC has cheated them. So managing misinformation must be done quick before we go to that election. And then it also calls on the government to enhance faster communication, faster official communication. Let us not wait till we see things from Reuters, Washington Post, BBC, then we come in and react. So if we have information as a government, can we get that information faster out there to the people so that the people begin to familiarize themselves, people begin to consume that information in good time so that we don't allow misinformation? Because when you don't have factual information, the only information you will have is that there is Article 179 in the finance bill, whereas actually it reaches maybe Article 50. So you will be having misinformation and you will ride on it. The problem we have in this country, Jagero, is systemic. It is not a problem that can be solved like switching on electricity in your house or the bulbs in your house. Before Baba left to go and be with the Lord, he asked for something which to me today I think is very important. It might not happen today because we are already in an electioneering period, but I think after next general election, we must begin to have this conversation. We must have that conclave, all generation conversation, where as a people, we air our grievances and we say where we want to go. Can we rewrite our own destiny? If at all we think where we are headed to is not the right direction, can we rewrite it?
If
can
at
we
all
have,
we think.
Can we have thinkers come on the table and then begin to say, well, in the next 100 years, where are we going to? Can the leadership then begin to pass down this communication to the people in a manner that the people will begin to appreciate? You've had time and again the president lamenting that nobody's talking about what the government is doing. He is lamented about the communication teams, always. But in every ministry, in every department, there are people who should communicate. So I think the systemic problem we have, we must begin to talk about them and talk about them with love to one another.
Okay. So we have the recommendations that should be happening as we go to as we take that sharp bend to the 2027 elections. The IEBC should publish the operational calendar, procure safeguards, registration procedures and results protocol way early. All right? And then we have got security agencies. Again, the question of goonism that we have talked about. The suggestion is that there should be transparent, rights-based, local informed planning, clear police guidance on crowd management, proportionality and neutrality with the police, the civil society and the media, civic education, parallel monitoring, peace messaging, but avoid elite-driven narratives that bury local grievances. Media should explain legal dispute resolution early. And then there is the international partners, early technical assistance to the IEBC, strengthening local police, infrastructure in counties with violence history or emerging protest risk. So, for example, we have had other places where people are talking in Mombasa. What is the police doing about that? There are zones where we've always had a problem. So, in finishing, Mr. Joachim, as we finish this podcast, what are your last words? Then I go to Alionya.
My last words is we don't need a conclave. A conclave to speak to who? To Alionya. Imagine we are having a conclave. This is a conclave. What has come out of this? You can imagine. This is a micro sample of a national conclave.
Yes.
So we are going to the table to discuss with the people who have predetermined outcomes, that this is how we want things to go. I agree with him when he says that the problem we have is systemic. Yeah. And another problem that we have is that we have people who are the biggest beneficiaries of the system being its guardian angel. So we cannot discuss with the guardian angels of a systemic problem when we want to solve a systemic problem. You have said areas where we can do things that can help us not to have a post-election violence. There is only one thing: don't rig elections. Because
do you have a feeling it's going to be rigged?
I have not said I have a feeling.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, don't rig elections. Today there is no Baba, and that must come out very clearly. That there is no Raila Odinga, the one we will come and have a handshake with and say, Baba akisema ni sawa. We will not listen to words like stability of the country. That will not make sense to us. What will make sense to us?
A senator speaking, eh?
I am telling you, this is not, you are not going to guilt trip me to say things that are politically correct.
That's a senator speaking.
If you are going to rig election, because I want to become senator by winning,
yes,
not rigging. If I rig, I should be ready to face the consequences pushed by the person I have rigged out. The stability of this country
what kind of
depends.
consequences? Just us.
It is, you know, nikisha kukosea.
Legally?
Nikisha kukosea. Let me tell you. Nikisha kukosea, I have no reason to tell you how you should respond. It is how you deem fit.
Does the law therefore have a space in that?
Is rigging lawful? If there is any regard for the law, why am I rigging?
So are you saying an eye for an eye?
No, when you are rigging, don't you see you are putting the country on the brink of a collapse? Because when it collapses, you are also in this country. So for the sake of the safety of everybody, don't rig elections. If you lose honorably. If you win honorably. That I go home saying we did our best, but we did not win. Full stop. But let me not go home crying, knowing that you played your abracadabra. We will not sit pretty in this country.
Okay. Alionya?
So I have not landed.
Okay.
The other thing.
You are not flying anyway.
So, it's a warning that I have told people severally, and I risk being called a prophet of doom, that we have a chance in 2027 to democratically solve our problems. Because the young people that are burning schools in high school, they are going to be on the streets hustling in the next 1 to 3 years. If we do not show them that a ballot paper can be respected, we will not be able to convince them that they can bring change by voting. And that is laying grounds for anarchy. So if we do things the correct way in 2027, it will be a very good corrective measure of bringing this country back to its road. So everybody with greed must remember Mahatma Gandhi's words, that there is enough for everyone's need, but there can never be enough for everyone's greed. I am going to be Senator of Nairobi, vote for me. Join Safina, vote for Jimmy Wanjigi. Thank you, very important.
You know what, Jagero, just as Alionya finishes, it is important to remind Kenyans.
Then this is your opportunity to say your last words.
Yes.
In under a minute.
It's important to remind Kenyans, just before we think of even who is going to be the next president, before we think of an election, can we think about having a country? Because we cannot talk of an election without a country. We cannot talk of a president without a country. So in anything you do, in today's election, tomorrow's next general election, can we first think of a country before we even think of that election, before we think of that outcome? Finally, Jagero, it is important to note that Kenya is a bulging youth demography. And every year we have 1 million young Kenyans getting out of universities and colleges every single year. How are we going to handle this? Can we begin, even those in the opposition, can they begin to offer solutions that even the current administration can work upon. That is the leadership style that we need in the country. We don't just, as opposition, nobody should just criticize or just call out the wrong without offering a solution. Thank you very much again.
Okay. Alionya?
Before I make my point, there's one girl called Lydia Mwangi on YouTube. She gave one solution to goonism, that we need to go back to serious agriculture, manufacturing and trading, increase taxes on imports so that we can rely on our own products. I just felt like highlighting because it's a serious solution. Nonetheless, as people are thinking that President William Ruto will rig elections, you have seen his side in Olkalau looking for votes seriously from one household to another. So as others are sitting pretty, thinking that others might rig, the government is not comfortably just wishing and closing their eyes and wishing they'll wake up and win elections. They are going to the people seeking for their mandate. I hope the opposition will also wake up so that when we beat them 10-0, and as I can see tomorrow we are going to beat them in Olkalau, the beating will be the same in 2027 if they don't wake up to buy other gases. Tukipeleka progas, peleka K-gas. Tukipeleka stima, peleka solar, so that the voters can decide which side are they voting for. Nonetheless, as a Gen Z, ensure you register as a voter, because I've always said, kama wewe ni Gen Z, unasema one term na two term na hauna kura, wewe ni shenzi sana.
Umesema msichana anaitwa nani?
Lydia Mwangi.
University in Agriculture.
We need to go back to serious agriculture, manufacturing, trading, and increase taxes on imports so that we can rely on.
I think we need a conversation around the investment in terms of manufacturing, agriculture, and labor mobility in this country.
We don't have power.
I think we need a conversation around that, because there is just extremely good work the government is doing around those.
There is no
factors.
power.
Which power are you talking about?
These are good.
No, how much electricity do we produce? Now we are talking about now industrializing our economy.
Thank you. And
how much electricity?
You know, he's bringing that conversation.
Thank you very much.
This one needs another session.
Yes. Let's open another one.
You know, there's a World Cup waiting for. Which team are you supporting?
I'm supporting England
today.
Yeah, people of the internet, thank you very much. Mr. Kachola, I want to thank you so much. You watch basketball, please. Give us a break. Alionya, always a pleasure having you here. We love you so much. Mr. Joachim, wish you well with Safina Party and being. I think you'll genuinely make a very good senator in Nairobi, especially what senators are supposed to do.
Yes.
The way you turned this into a senator hearing. It was amazing. Thank you very much. I want to thank John Tess, who has been on the cameras on TikTok, and I want to thank Mr. Frank, who has been on the deck today. Until another episode, people of the internet, you are the guys that make this show, and we want to thank you so much. Until another episode, bye for now. All right, people of the internet, I hope that you're enjoying this episode very much. And I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many, many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Now, mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my book, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things. Build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.